If you have patterns or traumas or belief systems that feel deeply rooted and that are holding you back from being the person that you want to be in your life, and you want to figure out how to break through those issues, then this video is for you. This is going to be talking about how to heal generational curses and issues through the bloodline. And I'm going to go in depth about this from the perspective of healing lineage patterns, understanding that the things that you're dealing with are a lot deeper than just you. And you actually have a power to change that and to alter your reality by facing what needs to be faced in yourself and in your reality, and understand that it's not your fault, right? I want to get into this, and I'm going to give you tools to break generational curses through your bloodline so that it no longer shows up in your reality at the end of the video. So definitely stick around for the practical tools. And I wrote some notes down. I'm excited to share this with you. So if you don't know me already, my name's Grace Moralia. I specialize in trauma and subconscious healing. What I help people like you do, and I'm sorry for the lighting, it's kind of funky, but I kind of like it in a way. What I help people do is identify and release core wounds, blocks, limiting beliefs that are keeping them stuck in debilitating patterns. So if you're dealing with things like fears or blocks that you don't really know what they are or why they're there, but you know that they're blocking you from living your highest potential, and you want to feel free and aligned and confident and on purpose, and you want to love yourself and be free from the past, but you just don't understand practically how to get there or to connect to your true self or to live your true self, and you don't know how to let go of the past or these patterns, beliefs, and traumas, and you just have things, whether that be from childhood, old relationships, right now, just you're not living up to your highest potential, you know it, and you want to get out, right? That is what my coaching programs are for. They're designed to teach you how to heal yourself. I'm also holding space for you to heal subconscious blocks and coaching you through those things so that you can break free. It's deeper than therapy for sure, and you'll be able to heal yourself through that experience for the rest of your life. That's the way I teach it, is for you to be able to heal yourself through my coaching. So, and get clarity and guidance, because I do readings and channeled work. So if this calls to you and you want to feel confident, powerful, supported, all the things, you're drawn to the energy, I encourage you to book a consultation call below. Let me know a little bit about yourself. We'll just jump on a no pressure chat to see how I can support you so that you can live your purpose and be free. All right, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what is supportive about this video, what resonates with you, and we will get into the points. So, I'm going to be looking down here a couple times probably throughout, because this is where I wrote my notes. I don't know how I feel about this lighting, but I'm just going to keep it okay. So basically, this video is for you if the way that you're acting right now is not the way you want to be acting, and you don't really know why you're stuck, and you feel like there's parts of you that are playing out in your reality that are not your true self. Like, you can feel the disorientation or the fears that you have that just feel so deep. Like if you have scarcity beliefs or fearing abandonment, being left, or if you keep repeating the same relationship patterns, for example, these things indicate deeper issues that have been unresolved, that have been passed down to you through the bloodline. Okay, the way that you're currently acting more than likely has nothing to do with you. The pain that you face, the patterns that you play out, and the mindset that you have most likely come from your intergenerational trauma that has been passed down to you and needs to be dealt with. Think about the patterns that your parents and their grandparents and your grandparents and your grandparents and your grandparents had. Traumas are passed down through the lineage just like diseases are, like heart disease. And until someone actually has the bravery to face those parts, they play out like curses. Hear me out. If you can't get where you want to be with money, if you can't speak your truth because your throat is closed up and you're too afraid, if you're stuck people pleasing and you're like overgiving and you're like, why can I not stand up and speak my truth? Why am I allowing myself to be overtaken by these external circumstances or people? Why am I giving so much to these people? That's not yours. You know why you know why I know that? Because the way that it feels in your body. Like, your true self is underneath all of these patterns that are passed down to you, okay? And I'm going to tell you how to break free of these traumas, but just hear me out first. Your true self lives beneath these patterns you inherited. And so your work is to figure out who your true self is and what patterns are actually creating your reality. What still has your energy? What still has your attention? Okay, so for example, if you have the same type of gut issues, the same type of physical body pain, mental illness, weird thought patterns, forms, right? A fact is you inherit your mother's gut health when you're in the womb with her. What state of being was your mom in when she was pregnant with you? Was she grounded? Was she supported, right? Or was she dysregulated? But your true self lives underneath these things. I'm bouncing around this video, but your work is to identify what is not you, who is not you, and begin to unwind those patterns that are not you so that you can uncover the essence of who you are, unlock the essence of who you are, because these things are embedded conditionings that make you feel inadequate, unworthy, lost, confused, unmotivated, right? So I'm going to define what generational curses are, how they hold you back, and then give you tools, all right? So basically, they are spiritual and psychological issues, generational curses. These are patterns of trauma, belief systems, behaviors, or emotional wounds passed down through the family lines, often unconsciously. These curses aren't always dramatic. They sometimes look like poverty mindsets, emotional suppression, abandonment cycles, codependency, lack of self-worth, addiction, secrecy, control, or shame dynamics. Now, curses can be actually hexes. They can be projected stories onto you by people in your family or other people that you have been intimate with that keep you in bondage in your life right now, in bondage from other people's thought forms cursing you. Now, that's a subject that I will tell you how to break out of. That's a little bit different. Let me write that down. I'll give you a tool for that at the end of the video. That's really fucking powerful, right? But it doesn't have to be like that. So it can really just be an unhealed wound that no one before you has had the ability to heal or face before. That's why when you're in the shadow work, when you're interested in shadow work, when your soul's calling you on the healing path, you're actually, by facing your own patterns, you're facing your generational lineage issues. And what they say in Native American tradition is that 7 generations back lives in your DNA. So the issues that have been in your bloodline for the past 7 generations are now yours, in you, right? So you may be called on this path to break these curses for yourself and your lineage. Now that's obviously deep and, takes time. So let's be compassionate with yourself for 5 seconds. But this is how they hold you back. They become these internalized identities, right? This is just how I am. This is how I operate. This is what I receive. This is just what I'm used to. This is just what I get. I deserve it. Your true self would literally never, ever, ever, ever talk to yourself like that. Your true self would never say, I just deserve this. This is who I am. This is what I am. Okay? These keep you in loops. They keep you in loops of fear, scarcity, dysregulation, right? So these are the same loops that your parents, grandparents, and all of your ancestors on specific bloodlines have lived through. So here's a way that you can see what you're dealing with. So I want you to choose a pattern that you're dealing with right now. That could be scarcity, that could be anger. Okay, fine, abandonment trauma. Who does this remind you of in your bloodline? Ask yourself, whose voice is this? Whose voice is connected to this pattern so that you can start understanding the parallels? Does this look like people in your mother line? Does it look like people in your father line? So these internalized identities of this is just who I am impact your relationships, like creating unhealthy relationship dynamics. It influences your finances and your scarcity beliefs. It influences self-worth, like your shame, people-pleasing, over-giving, right? And then also your health. So stress that's stored psychologically, somatic trauma, things like this in the body, inherited many times from your mother line. Because again, when you're in the womb with mother, you are absorbing her state of being and her health in your cells. So that's fucking deep, right? So you might be fighting battles that didn't start with you, and then you have to take responsibility for them, right? This is what my trauma healing work is all about, and what I teach you how to do in my coaching programs, and also helping you just get clarity, get connected to your soul purpose, and really just aligned beyond the patterns of the past. It's your traumas, it's your family's traumas, it's your inner child. It's about reconnecting to your inner child, your inner stability, your sense of self-love, so that you can take your power back from these patterns and continue to break through and be a generational curse breaker, so that you can create the life of abundance and alignment that your lineage didn't have an opportunity to. That is what's changing the planet. That's why the shadow work is so important, right? It's not about you, but it is about you, but it's about changing the whole collective and your whole bloodline, which is why it's so cool. So you can book a call with me if this energy calls to you. I'd love to talk with you and see where you're at and what you need and support you with that. Okay, so we're gonna talk about tools to break generational curses, all right? So like I say in all my other videos, and I drill it in, we need first awareness, right? Awareness of the pattern and understanding where it comes from. And then we need to heal the pattern, and then we embody the new version of the self. So basically, this is the practice I want you to play with, and I'll link it below. We're gonna start doing a parts work exercise, and if you don't know about parts work, you should check out my other videos, because I have a video specifically describing what parts work is not too far down, so you can see it. But basically, it's to identify which inner voices or behaviors are not yours and have been inherited. So the way that you do this is notice right now, and I recommend you getting a piece of paper and writing down all the belief systems. Don't make this too hard. All the belief systems that you feel are holding yourself back right now. And I recommend writing it down, but if you're lazy like me, which I only tell you to do things like that I would do and that I feel are worth it, but if you're lazy like me, then think about the main things that are blocking you right now, beliefs, patterns, wounds, traumas, and ask yourself, who does this remind you of in your bloodline? Does this remind you of a certain person or situation in your past? Who is this tied to? And then, right? And then figure out that core, who, what, why, right? And then, well, for this practice, like I can't take you through this practice unless you booked a session with me, but I could take you through guided hypnosis and meditation practices and energy healing to clear the root of these patterns and blocks. But what I would do alone is write them all down, figure out the core of them, where each of these belief systems stem from and who, and then figure out the emotion beneath that pattern. What are the core emotions that are still underneath these belief systems? And then what I would do is I would either journal about the story that emotion says. So for example, if it's an abandonment trauma, I would write out abandonment trauma, and then I would write out everything that the story of that abandonment trauma says, who it's from, what it feels like, how it's holding you back, and then I would burn it. If you're a real OG and you want to heal, do that, okay? Do that. This is shadow work. This is clearing your lineage. This is clearing energy out of your energy field to break free from these cycles, right? Now, I'm gonna give you another tool. Look up Steve Noble cord cutting meditation, and look up Steve Noble ancestral healing. Just look at his page and what that brings up for you, and click the meditation that you feel would be the most supportive for you. Just trust it, all right? Now, understanding that when you do this inner work, you are literally shifting your bloodline and therefore shifting the way your children and grandchildren will show up. That's the real sauce. You're creating positive karma for your entire bloodline and your future self. So you only receive health, wealth, and abundance and all the good things from you taking ownership in this way. I find that self-love is the key, but awareness is everything. If you can understand who you are beyond these patterns and traumas and identities, you are on the fast track to success, okay? So when you are like, oh, here's a belief system that makes me feel small. Here's this scarcity belief. Here's this addiction. Here's this X, Y, and Z. I want you to ask yourself, whose is this? Do I want this to be true? What is the emotion underneath it? Sit with the emotion. Journal about the emotion. Focus on the emotion. Let it be a process. Let it be a journey. Free yourself. It's not you. So don't get stuck in that story of this is me. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. But your inner child needs to know. Okay, oh, I forgot to tell you this before I end the video. Breaking generational hexes. Yeah. All right, I need you to go watch my Rewriting Soul Contracts video. If you feel like you have a generational curse that has been put on your bloodline, go watch that video on my page, okay? It'll explain how to rewrite soul contracts and why that's important. You could be having your abundance blocked because of curses that were put on your bloodline, and your soul is aware enough to be able to break through those for your whole bloodline. All right? How badass is that? If you need help and you want to go more in depth about all this and get one-on-one support, book the call. I'd love to talk with you. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful. I hope it was. It was a little scatterbrained, but I really wanted to make this video. So I love you. Please like and subscribe. Please comment below. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.